Hey everyone, it's Sherri from Trail Wisdom Weekly, and this is all about real talk for runners, walkers, and hikers 35 plus who are in it for the long game. And it's not only the long game of the race, which, you know what, to some people, 5K is a long game, but the long game of life. And this is for the type of person that says, you know what, I like what I'm doing and I'm going to do it until I really can't. So this is for you. So here we go. Have you ever been asked? Have you, the question of why are you doing that? Like, come on, like you're so crazy. Well, yeah, I got that. And I got it last week when I was talking to somebody and I said I was watching the Cocodona 250. I was watching, my run coach was in there, and there's some other runners that I really like and I follow. So I was watching by a live tracker. Now, let's backtrack for a little bit. Cocodona 250, for those of you that don't know, it's a 250-mile race from Black Canyon City, Arizona to Flagstaff, Arizona. So it's across Arizona. Can we say heat, y'all? And it's also not flat. It is not taking the crow's route. It is actually across mountain range. You're going across the mountains. There's about 40,000 feet of elevation, up, down, up, down type thing. And there's a 125-hour time limit. So that translates out to 5 days and 5 hours. The race starts off at Monday, 5 a.m. and ends Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So think about it. That's a long way to go. And over the course of 5 days, you're in Arizona. Now, Arizona, it's can be hot during the day and cold at night. So there's all sorts of things. And I actually really like watching my run coach through here. She is actually the Triple Crown of 200s winner. She is a very strong runner. So I was stoked to watch her. But I also watch others during the race. And this race was won. Get this. This race was won in 56 hours and 9 minutes. 56 hours and 9 minutes. That's a little over 3 days. The runner had a pace of 1320 minutes per mile, which is just over 8 minutes a kilometer. That's for 250 miles, mountain terrain. And guess what? Her name is Rachel Entrekin. Now, this isn't this isn't going, oh, men versus women, but she's a woman and she outright won the race. Killian Korth, the leading male, who is also a king of 200s as well, he came in, it was more than an hour later. So Rachel won this race outright. And I am so stoked because this is an area where women actually do have a strong showing and they actually can win outright. But I have a lot of respect for Killian and what he said, what Rachel did for the sport. And yeah, you could say, well, what she did for women, but you know what? It's for the sport off overall because when you're running endurance, particularly ultra running, it's you against the course. Yes, there's males and females on the track and also non-binary as well too, but it's you against the course. That's who you're running against is the course. How are you faring out against the course? And I'm going to say this is for all of trail and ultra running. And you know what? Triathlon as well too. It's you versus the course. So she won it. She came in and not only did she win it, she's got the course record. And that's not by minutes either. She's got the course record. And it was amazing watching her come in and with her crew. And by the way, she did have to stop to pet every dog along the way. So that was amazing seeing her win, seeing Killian come in. And I watched Rachel and she looked so strong. And I look at her physique and it's nice and compact and muscular. And I went, I want to be her when I grow up. And it was just amazing watching her. She looked like she had energy for days. And then Killian comes in and I could see the look on his face. And to me, it said, oh God, I want this race to be over. Come on. Where's that finish line? But kudos to him. He is very, very strong. And he's a beautiful soul as well, too. Now, One thing I really like with this is that watch people on their Instagram. Courtney Dauwalter is another one to watch. She told how many naps she had along the way and what her race was actually like. And I like that is that Rachel, pictures of Rachel, her hair isn't perfect. It's all over the place. And this is where you really get to see what it's really about and what you actually look like. One of Courtney's pictures in one of her races, she looked about 15 years older. It's reality. It's real out there. Now, speaking of getting real, the last runner, and then any of these endurance racers, watching the golden hour is truly, it's it's unreal. It is. This is where the epitome of human spirit comes through, and it came through seeing it by a man by the name of Wayne Amos. He came in at 125 hours. He came in, he was bent over, he could hardly walk. He had a person beside him, both sides, encouraging him along the way. Not only did he have his two people beside him, he had the whole finish line was electric. It is emotional. It really is. Here he is, all bent over. And if you're wondering, he was bent over from fatigue, dehydration, and face it, 125 hours of running in the mountains, in the sun. That shows his body was like, all right, dude, I've had enough. But his spirit didn't give up. He crossed the finish line. He collapsed. He was collapsed across the line, and one of the people with him got his feet across the line, and he did it. 125 hours, and he put his body to the max. He left everything that he had on that course. That is the will of the human spirit right there. It was unreal to watch, and there's quite a few reels out there and also videos of him coming to the finish line. And I will say, after IV treatment and also IVs and also treatment, he felt much better. And you know what? Really, really nice to see. Rachel was with him. Yep. Rachel and him were sitting together. He has a smile on his face, like he deserved that. It was a smile on his face, and it is totally something to behold. It really is. And what I saw, one of the lady who actually posted the video of him coming across the finish line, and she did a piece on Instagram, and it's worth seeing her piece as well too, because the thing is, when people see this, there's actually a few different types of people. Number one, there's the people that go Cocodona 250, this endurance race. I so want to be there. And by the way, starting next year, Cocodona 250 is a lottery. It's not a pay your money and go. There's those types of people. There's a type of people that are, you know what? It's not my sport, but damn, do you have respect from me? Those type of people. And then there's the people with the opinions, and they really started to fly. And those are the ones that you will have when you say you're going to do something that's outside their comfort zone. Why? And you can hear you're such an idiot. You know what? That's about them. It's about them. It's not about you. It really isn't. It's a projection. And there was lots of that as well too. There was lots of that. Well, this isn't done. This isn't healthy. Look at that. Look at how he's coming in. This is so not healthy. Oh, sitting on your ass on the couch is? Come on. Let's get realistic here. Eating junk food all day, sitting on your ass, and having the fitness of a stone is healthier? No. Let's get real. Here's the thing. Well, look at his back is awful or whatever. You know what? All sports have injuries. Take hockey, for example. If you saw the x-rays of some of those players, what their back looks like, it's not, there's injuries. And you know what? There's injuries if you walk across the parking lot. So come on. This is about getting out of a comfort zone and challenging yourself. And why would he want to do that? Why would he want to be in that race? I'll tell you one thing, it's personal. It really is. It's personal. It's personal as to everybody. If you asked every single person in that race why they ran the race, like, tell me why'd you run it? You'll get 400 different answers because it really is personal. Some people have limitations. Some people, they just want to see what their body is capable of doing. Some people are fighting demons. It's personal. And you know what? Everybody has their reasons, and thou shalt not judge because my sport isn't your sport. And that's the one thing for anybody who's had, well, why? Geez, you're just crazy. You know what? That's your opinion. You're entitled to it, and you don't have a right to voice it to me. So when it comes down to it, it's personal. It is truly personal. And here's the thing is I hope he got the buckle. Yeah, he got the buckle. But here's the truth. It's not about the buckle. Mm-mm. It really isn't. It's not about the buckle. It's about the journey of what it took to overcome the course, to overcome whatever was going on. And there on the Aravipa website, there is the movie called The Cutoff. I highly recommend watching it. It shows basically the rest of us. It shows the cutoff chasers and what it takes to cross that finish line during that time limit. And how it's done is personal. It really is. And it's the buckle. Yeah, the buckle's nice and it is a reminder, but what matters is the journey. What matters is the willingness to do a hard thing. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not going to run a 250 mile. Well, it could be a 5K, it could be a 10K, it could be a triathlon for the first time. Whatever it is, it's the willingness to go out and do something hard. And Steve Magnus writes the book, Do Hard Things, and it's a highly recommended read. I recommend everybody read it. But he's right. We need to do hard things. Our humans evolved doing hard things. We didn't have a cushy lifestyle. If you're looking back in history, our life wasn't easy. It's just in the last how many years it's been made a heck of a lot, quote unquote, easier, more comfortable. And it is, when it comes down to it starts with diaper training. You think about it. I know when I grew up, it was cloth diapers. Master diaper, it was uncomfortable. You want to get out of it. Now they have Pampers. And Pampers it makes it comfortable. Everything is kept dry. It's kept comfortable. So it's actually breaking that uncomfortable brain feedback loop. So what this is all about, as those of us who are endurance athletes, we totally get we have the need to do something, to push ourselves, to push our limits, to do something hard, to do the training, to do something we really don't know we can do. Myself, when I got across the line for my 100 kilometers, I broke down. I cried because I did something that it was questionable with whether I could do it. My coach had all sorts of confidence in me, but I didn't. But when I went into the race, I'm owning that finish line. And when I crossed it, it's a release. And if you look, I wasn't a runner in high school, or I wasn't a runner in school. No, I was built for strength, not running. You want running? No, she's the last one picked. If you want strength to knock a ball off a home run, yeah, that was me. But running wasn't my thing. So when you look at it, it's personal. And that's a why thing is to get into what's your why for this? What's your why? Keep it sacred, because there's going to be opinions. There really is. And people love to leave their stink on stuff. And it doesn't matter if it's a sport or glass art or whatever it is. People love to shoot their opinions. Just go on social media. You'll find lots of them. Are they right? No. No. No, they're not. Not when it comes to your own personal gig. Like, if somebody wants to think I'm crazy, a Looney Tune or whatever for doing what I do, Go for it. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm the one that I'm happy for what I did. Well, it's unhealthy. Really? I don't think so. Is there risk? Of course there is. And every sport has risk. Mountain climbing has risk. Running across any running sport has risk. You know what? Probably ping pong has risk. But you know what? It's something that is from inside and you can't stop it no matter how hard you tried. If you tried to stop it, it's going to haunt you. So it's personal. And I highly encourage watching Wayne come in. It really does. It really does strike the emotion. And yeah. And it's also encouragement. It's also inspiration to go, well, what could I be doing? What could I be doing that stretches myself? And everyone's definition of hard is different. My husband, who has COPD, we just did a trail race, and I'm the lead and sweep for the early start walkers and hikers. And that's a group he was in. And he looked at me last year and he says, "Do you think I could do it?" And I says, "Yeah, you're going to do it because I'm sweeping you in. You're going to do it. That's all there is to it. Like, it's not I'm pushing you, but I'm going to make sure you cross that line. I have the faith in you to do it." And he did it last year and he's joining me for a season's pass this year. He's doing it. He's doing it rather than sit on the couch. And I asked him, "What's your definition of hard?" And he says, "Probably if I went 10% faster." I says, "Okay, that was the sport loop, which is 8 kilometers. If I said we're going for the enduro, which is more 16 kilometers, would that be your hard? Would that be hard?" He goes, "Yeah, that'd be hard." And for me, that's easy. That's easy. My hard is getting that 100-miler. Your hard is up to you and what you defined as hard. And that's another judgment you possibly will run into if you say, "Well, I'm going to run a 5K." And the person goes, "That's not much," according to them. But according to you, it might take everything you have. And you know what? Do your hard thing. Train for your hard thing. Set your mind and go for it. And use somebody like Wayne or somebody who runs the endurance as your inspiration, because you know what? They didn't give up. They didn't give up. They accomplished what they did. And you think, well, that's just, hard. We got used to scrolling on social media. What if we took the energy we done to scroll on social media and the time and did something that was lit a fire inside of us? And speaking of fires, my future guest is going to be a fellow by the name of Jason, and he did 110 hours at Cocodona. He did Cocodona 250 a few years ago, and he did it in 110 hours. And I'm going to have him on the show here, and I'm going to be asking him all the questions about what it was like, why did he do it, how did he do it, and when he saw that finish line, what was his reaction? Because think about it, being out there for that long and you see that holy grail of a finish line, you don't know how you're going to react. And I could say that for sure because when I ran a downhill marathon, it was the Revel, it was downhill. And if anybody says, "Oh, downhill marathons are easy," they're not. No, they're not easy at all. And I was thinking, how am I going to be when I cross the finish line? Because I saw all these finish line pictures of people jumping up and down. No, that's not how I crossed. I crossed, but I have an epic picture of it. And yeah, and I think back of all the memorable moments of how I gritted down. And it took everything, a lot that I had to cross that line. So I'm excited to have Jason on the show so he could share his story of Cocodona. And if you're asking what I run it, I don't know. I have to get my hundo first. I have to get the 100-mile first. So we'll see if I have anybody out there who'll say, "Yeah, let's go. Let's do it." So anyhow, have an amazing week and go check out Cocodona 250. I'm going to have the link in the show notes so you can see what the race is about, see what these runners endured. And also there's a link to the cutoff. And it's a movie about basically the rest of us, the ones who have to really dig deep to get across that finish line. And if you can, check out the reels on Wayne Amos. They're on Instagram, and I'm sure they're on YouTube as well too. And see him coming in, and not only see how he came in, but see how everyone encouraged him to come in. It was electrifying. It was epic. It leaves you speechless. In the meantime, get out there, get some trail. Get out there, get some nature, get some trail, and I'll see you next time.